I'm Larry Anderson, editor of SourceSecurity.com, and we're here today chatting with Eric Fullerton, who is the CEO of Vicon. Eric, I know you're a big proponent of open systems. Tell us how you are implementing that approach at Vicon.
Thanks for being here with me at IFSEC, Larry. Yes, open systems I think is very important because what we've seen in the security industry over years is that most vendors tend to try to do vendor lock-in by being somewhat proprietary. Over the past several years with the entrance of the IP protocol into video surveillance, we've seen a tendency to become open. However, the openness of vendors has not really been standards-based. And as this industry is going through a consolidation cycle, there's a big risk that the behavior from the vendors becomes more proprietary than it's been for some time. And in order to protect the end users so that they get the freedom of choice and they can have a long-term sustainable profitability out of their investments, I strongly believe that we need to have true standards-based open systems. And this means that what we're doing at Vicon is that we're implementing ONVIF-based standards between all of our elements. In our video management system, we're chopping it up and making it ONVIF Profile G compliant by the end of this year on all interfaces. We're doing this with our cameras, that they all can go into a advanced ONVIF system where we get a lot more features out of what you've had before. And even our access control will do that. So that we, with customers that buy from Vicon, they can choose to buy the whole solution, but they can also choose to buy which fits into theirs and choose other products to mix and match based on the open standard.
So what are the advantages, you mentioned flexibility already, what are the advantages of open systems for integrators and for end users?
Well, the big advantage is for end users that they get to sleep at night knowing that they don't have to rely on one vendor. And traditionally, if you want to try to lock customers in as a vendor, you end up trying to do everything because every time there's a new invention, there's something new, you have to develop that because you want to do everything yourself. Mm-hmm. And the benefit to the end user and the integrator is that they now can deliver a solution where things that haven't been invented yet can be implemented later on because you're fully standards-based. And that means that you won't run into a forklift upgrade or into a blind alley where you can't follow the development in the market. So the freedom of choice and the future-proofing of your investment are the big benefits.
There are so many changes in the market, it seems that it would be possible for an end user to maybe get lost in the mix somehow. How can you make sure that end users don't end up somehow shorted by the changes in the market?
Well, there's no doubt that many end users unfortunately will be shorted in the market. It's a little bit dependent on the channel partners that they buy from and also how many resources end users have. If you look through the segmentation from the enterprise down through the mid-market to the SMB market, it really depends on how big the solution is that they buy and what their forward-looking is. But you get back to the need for standards. You need to have well-trained system integrators. You have to have distributors who actually drive the right products. As soon as you get into something that looks hot and sexy and you make a choice where it's only that one vendor that can develop it, you basically get locked into this. And that's why we're also looking for working together with partners in the industry that don't have a customer-centric approach but have a end-user-centric approach where it's more a team-based approach to delivering solutions. And that's why we're working on these open standards together in an open ecosystem so that we put the need for the end user at center and not the need for us as a company to try to lock people in.
But some users are going to need hybrid systems or that kind of thing to have a migration path to the newer systems?
Yeah, so if you look at the technological evolution, IP is big today, and all the front ends become digital and much more flexible. And what the IP protocol has done is it's basically separated the software from the hardware and enable two different innovation cycles, one on the camera side and one on the software side. And as that has happened, we've seen a evolution of high innovation over a period of time, which has slowed down a bit. Now there's this whole installed base of analog solutions where, you know, the digital world would really love to see all these people scrap all their investment, pull new wiring, cabling, and then move to a fully IP-based solution. However, that is cost prohibitive for many people. What we at Vicon offer is that we offer, based on our history, basically having invented the matrix switcher, we now have all the bits and pieces to offer a fully flexible migration path. So you can upgrade your existing analog solution to an IP-based or a digital front end. We can supply with modernized matrix switchers that can utilize your cabling and your analog cameras, and you can migrate this as your budgets allow you into an IP-based, fully digital. One more thing is that there is a delay in managing PTC cameras in IP that's not solved. That's why many people, because they need the very hard, tight PTC management with a joystick or any other external physical management solution, that is actually better still today in analog solutions. So some specifiers keep specifying that, and so I really believe that we'll see an end-of-life game in the analog based on certain performance factors that'll be married with the digital front end.
Interesting. It was interesting to hear your comment about the idea of a manufacturer-centric environment versus the I guess another approach would be like a team-centric approach. Tell us a little more about exactly how that would play out in the market and what that would mean in terms of benefits for integrators and users.
Well, so if you do a search over all the security vendors, and I won't put any names on it, but most every security vendor will put on their website that they're world leader in something. And the tendency is that these world leaders, they tend to want to be the one and only, and their whole system is built around themselves. And that tends to create followers. What I strongly believe in is that you actually need to put the customer needs in the center, and together with your ecosystem, use which solutions that fit best for the end users at that time, and not try to put yourself in the center and just build the solution around what you can offer. And this goes together with your open standards, that you also need to be open-minded towards what is really the best for the end user.
What you hear a lot about video analytics now. What role do you think video analytics will play in the future of the market?
That's a very interesting question. In answering that, I want to go back and look at what video analytics looked like maybe 10 years ago. 10 years ago, there was a strong belief that video analytics was going to create a market as big as video management software. That's proven not to be true. What video analytics has become, there are a few areas like facial recognition and license plate recognition, and others that are very specific and have their own, maybe even their own cameras, etc., in various vertically specified applications. However, the general purpose analytics have become features on cameras or in NVRs, in video management software, that can be classified more as advanced motion detection. And so as that has become a part of, when I call it advanced motion detection, it's basically something that can help the operator to become more efficient and get faster to a solution, but it's not a standalone product. And I think that's the importance, to understand that video analytics has now become a feature rather than something that you use on its own. It does add value, but again, if you can't see it with the common eye, with the human eye, you basically can't analyze yourself around it. A second thing is that analytics will never become 100%. So you wouldn't be able to put a gun up and then, based on analytics, fire a shot, because you might actually do something wrong.
Yeah.
And that is basically the consequence.
So there's always a human element.
Yes.
Vicon is a manufacturer of cameras, among other things. How are you going to differentiate yourself as a camera manufacturer in an age of commoditization?
So I really believe that the siliconization is going to create sort of a very commoditized platform. And the way that we're going to differentiate ourselves is going to be in solutions, total solutions. We have our own VMS, we have our analog hybrid solutions, and we also have our IP cameras. And we will be building, and are building, content matter expertise in certain verticals where we belong in those verticals and we're strong. We're building applications that are over and above the cameras and the VMS so that our customers get a lot more value out of our solutions than just video surveillance. So we go beyond video surveillance into adding value to the bottom line based on our software applications.
It's definitely an interesting time in the market. I appreciate your taking some time with us today, and good luck to you.
Well, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.